everyone, and welcome to the Kittens of War Gaming Podcast, the gaming podcast where we talk all things video games, gaming news, gaming reviews, and overviews, the whole shebang. And this week I am joined with cornerstones of the podcast. In the end of time, when we don't know what will happen to the world, we know that these people will be sitting around a table, and they will still be talking about video games. Of course, it's Tom and Haley. Chris isn't with us, though. This week
he was kidnapped by a giant radioactive Eddie Murphy.
What? Okay.
Yeah, it's true. We'll ask him next week. He'll tell us all about it.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
He will indeed. It'll be an epic tale of radioactive and Eddie Murphy-ness.
Well, you know, we all know Eddie Murphy's history, though, of picking up gender-confused prostitutes. So let's not go too far there. Maybe.
See, now, Tony, you say that, and I've heard that reference so many times, but I don't know what it means.
What do you mean?
I haven't heard the story behind it.
Basically, he got in trouble for picking up. Apparently, he was just talking to and didn't have any sort of intercourse with a prostitute which has, let's say, a confused gender. You know, one of which, one of the other.
Was he in Bangkok by any chance?
No, he was. No, funny enough, he wasn't. He was. You think so, you know? But
I don't think anyone stops anyone for anything like that in Bangkok. That's just the norm, isn't it?
Yeah. You expect to see that sort of stuff in Bangkok, but you know, in the mean streets of wherever he was in the US, maybe not so much.
Okay.
So the Kittens of War,
with genders, aren't they?
Yeah, the Kittens of War Gaming Podcast. We're obviously, of course, about talking about Eddie Murphy's sexual exploits. That's why people come here for. So thank you for joining us. But no, obviously we talk about video games. We've got Tom and Haley and myself this week. This is going to be a shorter podcast, but by all means, it's not going to be less sweet. You know, it's going to be just right for you, for your audio goodness this week in terms of video games.
Quality, not quantity.
That's exactly right. I go with that every single time. We're going to be reviewing 2 games this week. Haley's going to be looking at Dynasty Warriors 8. Tom will be looking at the very, overshadowing game. It kind of makes me fearful for my own safety. Gods Will Be Watching.
Gods will be watching. I hope to God we can edit some effects into that. Just have an echo or something. Awesome. Incredible.
You know, like angels, going up to the heavens or anything along those lines. But yeah, we were looking at those games. At the end, I might talk a little bit about some games that I picked up in the Humble Jumbo Bundle, which was released this week. We'll talk a little bit more about that in our gaming experience as well. Let's get into our news and releases this week. This is the segment of the show where we talk about new big games that have been released, and we're going to talk about some of the news and stuff coming out. A few little juicy bits of information this week. Assassin's Creed Unity was released this week, and Rogue as well for the lesser consoles. Have you guys caught up on the controversy surrounding this game so far?
Oh, you mean the melty faces thing?
Well, not even that. Well, obviously that is part of it as well.
It's horribly, fatally bugged up the butt.
Yeah, it is a bad game, shall we say, in terms of performance. Total Biscuit he couldn't even bring himself to do a first impressions of the game because it just didn't work. Apparently it's got like a really unrealistic expectations on what each computer should have to run it. And I mean, you know, when you've got someone like Total Biscuit who has an obscene rig, like really stupidly good, and he can't get...
I was about to say, he's the face of a proper group that puts their money into YouTube, so he must have like everything paid for.
Yeah.
I don't know precisely how it works. I can only dream of what it would be like to have someone pay for a gigantic gaming PC for me.
I know he was saying when you got the Titan when it was first released, you know, the GeForce Titan is like $1,000 just on that one graphics card. I'm like, I don't have enough money. I don't have that much money to spend on a computer, let alone just a graphics card. But when obviously he's got all this stuff and he can't get above 17 frames per second inside of a church, that's pretty damn bad. And there's been, like, as you say there, Haley, there's like melting faces. There's been people, when you walk past them, they instantly change their clothes and their hat.
I've seen that one. That's weird.
Yeah.
I wish I had that magic trick. That would be so helpful.
It would
just
be.
Walking past people and just like, bam! Instant wardrobe malfunction.
Does that remind you of like...
Where is he?
Doesn't that remind you of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the Nickelodeon show, which would constantly do that, just keep changing what she's wearing? It's ding.
Oh, just flick. Oh, that's so helpful.
Mm.
Or a Superman thing where you spin around really fast and something, bam, Superman.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
But I heard they've had similar problems for
I missed that episode.
console users as well.
Sorry?
I heard they've had similar problems for console users as well.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. This isn't like this is across all systems. They say apparently it's a little bit better on Xbox, but on that particular area that I was talking about, where he's getting less than like 17 frames a second, that's across everything. And it's really weird because it's inside of a place that has no NPCs. There's no reason. Like you'd expect it maybe in a big, open expanse, maybe a set piece and part of the story. Maybe there's lots of people in there, and they're like, okay, there's a lot of strain on the system, so the frames are going to drop. But it's inside of a church. There's no one there. It's just really random. I don't know why, like the frames are so bad there. But like, what is it? People constantly stating they can fall through the floor and bug out the game and just like go into like the water underneath the world.
That's so strange.
Yeah. So this is just a case of Ubisoft saying, you know what, we know it's bugged, they must do, but we need to get it released. Just send it out there, it's fine. We'll deal with all of it later. And
so I was going to say, I don't think my brother's had any. He's recently bought it for the PS4, and I don't think he's had any problems with it. However, I think he's been sticking to Rogue at the moment.
Yeah,
I think he's hooked on that for now, which of course is on the 360 and will have less problems, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about Assassin's Creed Unity. I know one of the other kittens, Matt, was very excited for this to play with other people. I've heard apparently it's not even that much of a cooperative game, really.
Really?
Yeah, like apparently I think it's like
up to a degree, weren't they?
Well, considering the name of the game is Unity, it's a bit odd that that's not. I know there is cooperative stuff in the game, but it's not. It's like an extra thing that's tacked on. It's not a main thing of the game, which I thought was quite odd,
Very odd.
So pretty strange there. And obviously, the Assassin's Creed franchise got back on roots after using its naval stuff. There's no naval battles or mechanics in this game, so yeah, that coupled with bugs and poor performance, it just makes for a mix of really bad stuff. So I'm interested in seeing if Ubisoft do anything to fix that, because
it's funny because I've got this article here saying Ubisoft's stock price drops after Unity's launch by about 9%.
Jesus Christ, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about finances, so yeah, I don't know how much of a degree 9% is. Although,
I know a little bit more because I did research on stocks, literally just for my wrestling podcast. So I did a little bit there. That's still pretty significant. That could bounce back just as quick as it bounced down. But considering this is one of their big marquee releases, it probably won't go back up unless they release another big marquee release and it's good. So
it really confused me that they actually went back to formula. In my mind, it's just like, after Assassin's Creed 3, we've talked about that already, but people were just saying, oh, we're bored of this now, we're tired, can we just let it die now? Suddenly they turn around and go, oh, naval combat, we're going to play with pirates, that's fun, right? And we go, yeah, this is actually good fun. Then the guys back at Ubisoft go, phew, I thought we lost it there, right, back to the old stick.
Yeah, come on guys, I don't want to see a lick of water unless you can bug the game out and swim underneath the city like everyone else seems to be doing, but there we are.
People were tired of the old formula, but we saved it with that one game. Now let's go back to that old formula.
Yeah, alright, let's beat this dead horse over and over. Just keep doing it, yeah. It does seem a shame. I don't want to like, oh, this game is so bad. I haven't played it, but with all the stories that come out about it, it's pretty bad, really.
I haven't played it, but it doesn't intrigue me because of its setting, and it's the same. It's just the same old, and I'm bored of that.
And that's English people. We're born and bred to dislike the French. So there we are.
Oh, so Revolutionary France, it can be fun, but it could have been put further on down the line when we've been around the globe a little bit more, Yeah. Because we've been in Europe, we've had a brief instance in the Middle East, and we've been in America and the Caribbean. Can we do something else, please? I don't even want to go to England. I want to go somewhere, anywhere else.
Assassin's Creed, Antarctica. Right?
I wouldn't even go with that. Just stabbing penguins or something.
Battling! Oh my god! Tom, wrong pole. Wrestling a polar bear.
Yeah! And he's a Templar.
Templar bears and Templar penguins. You're jumping from pole to pole. You don't care about what's happening in between.
Or it could be that could even be like a modern setting because they could be searching for like a lost temple or something. Because you're gonna But they could be searching for Atlantis, and then they can go jumping along the lost city of Atlantis, or secretly buried, because that's a conspiracy that is actually buried under the North Pole,
Yeah, of course.
under
Yeah.
all that ice. And imagine it if it was enclosed, kind of like Atlantis, the Disney one, but not like that.
Yeah. And the final battle is against Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go, guys. Assassin's Creed Antarctica. You can expect it next year by Ubisoft. Created by the Kittens of Wargaming podcast. There you go.
Yeah.
I, for one, think Gary Busey would make a brilliant endgame boss, but there we go. You know, just dodge to the teeth. Anyway, the embargo for Dragon Age Inquisition allows reviews to be released more than a week before its launch. Reviews are already out about the game. It's coming out in about, I think it was a 3-4 days time. Dragon Age Inquisition launches. Considering we heard about AC Unity, going back to that Ubisoft weren't allowing news outlets to give a review until 12 hours after the game launched. It's a stark contrast, allowing reviewers to review it a week before it launches. So good on BioWare for that, and they're getting good reviews for the game. So obviously they knew they're onto a winner. Are you guys excited for Dragon Age Inquisition?
I am ecstatic.
Yeah.
I've never played it.
What?
Don't worry, I'm working on some emotional manipulation to make a play.
Wow.
Points.
I watched you play it, Tom, and I've been like, oh, what's he doing? Oh, what's happening with the dwarf thing? Okay. And questions like that. I like with Tom playing Mass Effect, I pick it up as I go, as he's playing it in the background.
Yeah, but you're just only vaguely aware of the people, not the story.
Look, I love Tally, okay?
You only love her just because she was drunk that one time.
Emergency
I love
induction
Tally.
port. Love it.
Haley, do it.
What?
Say emergency induction port in the way you do.
Induction? Wait. No, can't do it.
See?
I'm drunk. I'm not drunk enough. I need to be drunk.
Are you
drunk
drinking
her.
beers this week,
I need
Haley?
to do Tony's trick and drink beer.
I don't have any beers this week. I feel really sad. I think I need to drink
Yeah,
more
what
beer.
you did last week.
Yeah.
We're such professionals here at Kittens of War.
Of course. You know, that's why we have our name, Kittens of War. Professionalism. I am getting the game, but it's one of my Christmas presents, so I'm not opening up until Christmas Day. And I got my daughter a Wii, so there's no chance I'm getting my TV for the majority of Christmas Day to play it. So, kind of backed myself into a corner there, but there we
Early
go.
bedtime.
That's it. Oh, look, you
Enough
finished your
excitement.
dinner. Off to bed, yeah. But
Maybe
it's
just
12
basic
o'clock.
chocolate milk with some sedative or something.
Oh, you've opened your presents? Well, just go upstairs for 5 hours. Good girls. No, I won't do that. But
Now
yeah.
you can lock them in.
So, Tom, you got to promise me, man. No fucking spoilers, okay? No fucking
I
spoilers.
only promised to try. I don't know when I'm getting it, I'll be honest. I want to get my... I've got a couple of assignments that are due in just before Christmas, so I don't know when I'm going to get my hands on this game.
And once you get hold of it, you're not going to want to stop. So it's one of those things that when I got Skyrim knowing that I had a good couple of weeks that I would be able to play it, you know. So I think this is going to have to be the same thing. But Dragon Age Inquisition. I hope you're brilliant. Apparently you are. So there we are. Gaming experience.
Sorry, I'm excited just for that.
Yeah, isn't it? Gaming
I'm
experience.
looking forward to something completely different towards December. I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
What is that getting released?
Yep.
I didn't even hear about it. What's it getting released on?
The day before my birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
The 4th of December, for anyone who doesn't know.
5th December, yes. For those who don't know when my birthday is, because of course you would, people of the world.
Is it getting released on Xbox as well though, or not?
Kingdom
PS3
Hearts.
only.
Oh, well, that just makes me sad now.
It's the sole reason she wants
I
us to get a
haven't
PS4 for when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
Well, it's a
Kingdom
good,
Hearts 3, I have to get a PS4 though for that.
it's a good reason though. It's gonna rock. It's gonna rock. Can you imagine Frozen in that shit? Jesus, man, that's gonna be awesome.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to gaming experiences this week. Does anyone want to take away? What have you guys been up to this week in video games?
Haley, what on earth have you been playing this week?
Did you go back to that abusive partner of a game that you have?
No, she's been good actually. She's
Oh,
waiting
okay.
for the multiplayer. She's waiting for Don't Starve Together. She hasn't gone back until she knows she can drag me into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been addicted to something else.
Okay.
Spore.
Yeah, I've been noticing you playing that loads. How are you getting on with it?
Well, good, because I like making money in games.
Okay.
And in this case, I like making spice in games and spucks, as it's called. And I've worked out a pretty good system. And I've gone through different worlds whereby I will build up a good world where I am a vegetarian. Yeah, vegetarian, herbivore. And work that way to be all nice and friendly to people. Then I've also worked up a middle world where I've gone through omnivore, eco, and what's it, adaptable. Then I've also got my dick world.
What?
And my dick world is my favourite world.
What?
There's a sound bite to be found in that.
The dick world is my favourite world. Oh yeah.
Well.
Curb your filth. It's a world full of Richards, okay?
No, okay, basically it's the world where I'm a dick to everyone, where I'm a carnivore, I kill everyone, I fight, I rage war against people, and just have a good time.
Okay.
You know?
As you do on a dick world, I guess. You know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
However, as said when Tom... I don't know, did we say about the big bug when you reviewed it, Tom?
I believe we did, but reiterate just in case.
Well, basically there is one massive bug with Spore that never got fixed. It's all over the internet about it, but it's never been fixed. And there's no way to fix it.
Okay.
Where basically the game crashes. And once the game crashes, you can continue to play it. You have to reload it up and continue to play it. And hope it doesn't crash again for a long time, but usually it does crash after that. And there's no way to get rid of it. So you basically have to delete that save and start again.
Oh, really? Jesus.
However, with me, it's actually been crashing my entire laptop.
What?
Really scary. Like it would go, or it would just freeze on a sound bite and just have a horrible echoing sound, and it'd be all staticky across the screen, and I'd have to hold down the power button.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's kind of scary. Right?
It is. It's terrifying.
That instills fear in every gamer everywhere when their gaming machine does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm fucking deleting that. I'm not having that on my laptop. Take it gone.
Oh dear. So, did you create any interesting insects or anything along those lines in Spore? I was watching Chris's series, and he created like a scorpion or something like that.
Do you know, I'm quite boring actually. I usually go for dinosaur things, but my last species, I created my first four-legged creature with, well, basically the 6 limbs.
She made a centaur.
A centaur?
Yeah, sort of like a centaur, but blue.
a blue tar, maybe. Something like that.
And they're not a horse.
Wait, a blue tar? Wasn't that Avatar?
Oh no, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Jokes.
James Cameron is not finding his way onto this podcast. Not today. Not today.
Speaking of James Cameron.
Let's talk about Titanic.
Which was on the other
Speaking
night.
of ships crashing down into a haze of oblivion, I've been playing Guns of Icarus this week.
Oh, cool.
Yes!
Nice transition.
Transition champion of the week.
Well, I don't know. It's not over yet, Tom. I don't know. The king of segways will make his play. Don't you worry about
The
that.
Sultan of Segways.
Okay, yeah, well, they did an update, didn't they? I haven't played it. But...
They've actually they've got their own workshop going on now where people submit ideas for creation, which people vote on and get to decide if makes it into the full game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It is really cool because there's a few decals that you can get for your ships, which most of them bore me, if I'm honest. But suddenly they've got ones where with skulls, with crossed bullets, and I'm just thinking, I want that.
That was a bit badass.
That.
Like, it only just went up recently because I checked the workshop and it was I couldn't find anything. You know, that was.
No, I don't know what's up with the workshop because I go into it and sometimes you can't see anything, and I managed to bring a lot of things up, but recently doesn't for some insane reason. I don't know what's up. It'll probably get fixed.
Yeah, maybe it got released. There's a few bugs. They put it down for now. Probably going to put a patch out, something along those lines.
Okay.
But yeah, I call that as well. I haven't played it in a little while, but yeah, I like that idea. Can we get a cat-themed ship? Will we have the ideas to be able?
I don't know if they were actually going to. It's mostly just outfits, headgear, goggles, and decals for the ships. I don't know if they're actually contemplating doing new designs for ships.
No, what I mean is that let's get cat hats and stuff like that. I think
Cat
that needs to be
hats,
done.
a cat insignia across the ships. Although,
Exactly.
knowing some people, they'll probably try and rip that off.
Champion Captain's cat hat with great fuzzy cat ears.
Oh, reminds me, someone actually tried to induct me into their clan and take me out the Kittens of War.
What?
Yeah.
I would not have that. Sorry.
No, I know.
We must find that ship and shoot them down.
You're
I
getting...
actually make friends with them. They're lovely people. It's the gents, the gentleman clan. That's all about drinking tea and having fun.
Oh, please. That's so cliche.
Come on,
We're cats, for God's sake.
Yeah, come on.
It's internet. That's not cliche at all.
They clean up after our poop, okay? Right?
Oh.
So,
you're
getting.
If they ever need an ally, then they can count on the Kittens of War.
Yeah, as long as they wipe up our poo.
But they try to steal you.
Yeah, I'll tell them outright. You know, they don't mess with my kitties.
Clean up my poo.
Yeah, throw my killer lily tray at you. Go on, do it. Yeah, so there we go. But you've been making friends anyway with gentlemen, so good stuff. My gaming experiences this week, I purchased the Humble Bundle Jumbo, whatever. It's quite crazy.
Tony,
Yeah.
that was a crap segue.
Oh well, you know, I normally keep my segues for the games. You know, it's as you said at the start of the podcast. It's not quantity, it's quality. Okay, it has to be one segue, but it has to be badass. All right, so
Okay. I will wait.
waiting patiently. But if you guys don't know what the Humble Bundle is, it's a collection. They do deals on there. It's a big collection of games that they do on, I think, roughly about a 2-week basis, fortnightly. And like the money goes to struggling developers, also goes to charities and stuff like that. So you get a bunch of games really cheap, and you can basically pay what you want. There's certain thresholds to get more games, but I haven't liked the last few Humble Bundles they've done, but this one is pretty good. You get, was it Tesla Effect, so Tex Murphy games? Do you guys know the Tex Murphy games?
I like them, yeah.
No, I don't.
They're like full motion video, cheesy, like
detective stories.
Stories, yeah. And like basically they were done in so long ago that like they're standard definition video, and it's like in 400 by 640 like resolution. It's really bad. So seeing it like it's a new one that's come out because they got crowdfunding, and it's like in perfect HD. It looks pristine, and it's like, wow, man, this is crazy. But there's a few other ones like Insurgency. Got a few keys on there, so that was fun. I also now would like to announce I am Russian, and I answer only to Tim Curry.
Yeah, I remember this.
So
even when he's wearing stockings.
Even when he's wearing stockings, yes. He's
not Russian, he's Transylvanian.
yeah, by his accent, you'd say he would, yeah. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, our listeners, of course, I purchased... Yeah.
Have a clue.
I purchased Command & Conquer Red Alert 3, and Tim Curry plays the Premier in that, and you basically work for him. I bought it along with Morgan, another kitten. We've been doing the co-op stuff. One thing I thought was really weird about this, right, is that we bought it, tried to play co-op on it, right, because, Red Alert 3 is pretty good for its co-op. Every mission in the game you can play co-op, which is pretty cool. We tried to play co-op, and the servers are down. Apparently EA have knocked out the servers. It doesn't run off Steam servers. You can't run off of local hosting. You can't do any of that. It's really bad.
That is really bad.
We had to find online a fan service that basically rejigs the game into thinking that their server is EA's server, which they've long shut down, and then you have to run through their server. It's really shit, but you got to do what you got to do to fight for Tim Curry.
Those guys though. Are you good at that group to set up that other server?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise there'd be no alternative. So fair. And it's really good as well. It wasn't like we had to jump through loads of hoops, wait for authentication. We literally had to sign up, And then as soon as we signed up, our name was on the database, and we could just log straight in. It was very useful. It took us a while to get used to because we just weren't ready for it. You know, we tried to get straight online. It was like, wait a minute, like the servers aren't working, and there's no way to. You know, normally sometimes in games when you buy them off Steam, and it's not as if this game is super old by any means. It's
Yeah, but it's EA, isn't it?
Yeah, it's EA. Yeah, I mean, like, what was it? I had FIFA 12 like about 2 years ago, and that was shut down. The service for that, you can't access it. I'm like,
But that would have been only 1 year old.
yeah, I know, right? Like they could have really quick for it. I've got FIFA 14 now, and I know as soon as FIFA 16 comes out, servers for that are going to go. You know, it's just the way it is.
To be honest, it's FIFA though. They bring out one every year.
Yeah. Well, like,
same could be said for Dynasty Warriors.
ooh,
No, you don't go there. You don't go there, man.
You left it wide open for me. I had to.
Yeah.
I saw that net just before I jumped into it. I have to admit.
Well, like, you guys know I'm a big fan of FIFA. I won't go into it now, but man, FIFA 14 fucking sucks, man. Really, that game. I could play game upon game upon game of FIFA 12, and I'd love it to bits. I don't know how in 2 years they managed to make that game a bore. Really, I'm like, ugh. And I love sports games.
It's fucking football.
Well, I know you guys wouldn't enjoy it, but what I'm stating is that I love sports games, and so I'm biased for them, and I still think FIFA 14 sucks. But that's
okay, so Tony, just to enlighten me, what is it about number 12 that is so different about number 14?
Well, in 14, I'll just sum it up very quickly. I don't want to go into too much of it now, and I know, like Tom and Chris as well, I don't really care. But in 12, everything was very snappy and responsive. You pass, you move, and whenever you thought you put your a different formation, it always changed the game. In 14, everything feels too floaty. And like whenever you pass, it doesn't feel like that ball connects to a player. It feels like that ball could go anywhere. And like you think, okay, that's more realistic and fair enough, but it's not more fun. It's like, okay, I could pass the ball to a player. What seems like a simple pass, like that player could mess it up for some reason, just randomly. It's like, you're a professional footballer, you know how to handle a football. Stop acting like a moron. And like the amount of times I've done that, it's just like, ugh. And there's one glitch in FIFA 14 that is, you literally do an overhead pass, and for some reason, that just dumbfounds the defence. They just don't know what to do. They're just like, holy shit, man, he kicked it up in the air. What the fuck do I do? And like, literally, they just can't run along. Your guy runs across, scores a goal. But because you know you can do that, like, when I'm playing the career mode now on it, I've now refrained from doing it because I know it'll work. It's not a challenge.
Yeah, taking the fun out of it.
Yeah, but that's one of the main avenues of play. That's actually a really good play to knock it over the defence and maybe try and get a view there. But then in this game, it's like, okay, I knock it over the fence. I know I'm going to score. That's really, really bad. But there we are. They're the reasons why.
So they, I don't know, lost their tack. Really, their tact.
Well,
we're trying to make it better. They've made it worse, I suppose.
I heard that, Pro Evolution Soccer is their main rivals, right? And they haven't been able to fight them very well,
Yeah.
IGN, which, can't really trust their reviews too much because often they will be a bit biased, but still, they actually rated Pro Evolution Soccer this year higher than FIFA. So I'm like, maybe I'll have to jump ship. Because I used to be a Pro Evo player, so there we are.
Maybe you'll switch back then.
Maybe I will have to switch back to the Japanese making the games, see what they can do for us. Surprisingly,
the inventors of the video game.
Japanese can make some absolutely amazing football games just randomly. It's just like, okay, you guys get it. That's it. So yeah, I've been fighting for Tim Curry. That's the main thing that I've been doing. So don't trust me. I am Russian. It may not sound like it, but there we are. So. Along those lines where I've been, fighting with the Russians, creating somewhat of a dynasty along those lines. Haley has been fighting with the warriors of said dynasty. That's not my my segue of the week. That's just a little taster.
Your chosen segue. Okay.
That's just a little taster right there, just to get you ready and warmed up for it.
Getting yourself warmed up, are you?
Oh yeah. So Dynasty Warriors 8. So you're a big fan of these games. You've told us before. I have never played a Dynasty Warriors game, so this should be interesting. What is the game, first of all?
Well, many will say it's just like FIFA because they release a new one every year.
You're on my side, Haley, now, aren't you? You're like, yeah, fuck them.
Tell those people to go and hang themselves. Because I hate them because they should learn better.
Or clean up your litter tray. That's the ultimate insult that they have to do.
Yeah, clean up your litter tray. Clean up your own damn litter tray. Well, I mean, I think I've got a massive interest in Eastern culture, and I think this game is partly the reason. And it's not just this game, but the series. And I love it so much that as part of my my final assessment for my undergraduate degree, I wrote my 15-minute screenplay on a small segment of the Dynasty Warriors story.
Okay.
So based upon the original novel and upon this this game. Sorry, I was going to say upon the film as well, because there is actually a 4-hour film that is on one section of the entire
Did you just say
game.
4-hour film?
Yep,
Jesus,
4-hour film.
Peter Jackson must be rubbing himself to that. Jesus Christ.
It's a Cineasia film called Red Cliff, and it is based... Okay, this is going to sound really weird, but it's based on my favourite battle.
Okay.
So that sounds weird because I have a favourite battle, basically. That's why it's weird. But I should explain a little bit more context about the game first. The game itself, Dynasty Warriors 8, is the 8th, well, arguably eighth game in a series, in a saga. They had various other spin-offs such as Tactics, and then there was Gundam Warriors and Orokai Warriors, and I can't remember the other spin-offs.
It's like Grand Theft Auto 5 isn't the 5th Grand Theft Auto game. They've had San Andreas, Vice City, all that sort of stuff.
Exactly, yes, exactly.
Stories Vice City.
I'm just thinking if I can find any other games. I can't find any other names because I'm not looking very hard. But yeah, it is the 8th in a series, and it is based on it is loosely based, and it says on the website itself, it's loosely based on the classic epic in Chinese literature, ancient literature, which is called The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, a novel based on true events, but arguably not factual. Because they'll give numbers like 1 million warriors fought another 1 million warriors upon the battlefield. And it's like, I don't think there were that many Chinese people in the whole of China at the time.
A little bit exaggerated, shall we say.
1/3 of China.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the game itself, before I go into the lovely history that is China, was developed by Omega Force and published by Tecmo Koei.
No, okay. I never even heard of them.
Really? Koei's a good old, quite a big publisher. They've been doing it for years. Well, they're both of them have been doing this same series for years, and it's going to be successful enough to have done so many installments for so long. I don't know when the first one came out, actually. See, I should have looked this up earlier. When did the first Dynasty Warriors come out?
Do trivia at the end of homework for our listeners. They go wiki it for us.
Yes, please put it in. I was going to actually find out. The first one came out in 1997.
Oh wow! So 3 years will be 20 years. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a long, long time. That's and it was on the PlayStation, and I have never actually seen the original PlayStation since. I think the second one was put onto PS2, I think. It sounds a bit odd because of the years, but I remember I know at least number 3 was on the PS2, because I had that one as well.
Yeah.
And my interest started, number 2 was definitely on the PS2, because the person who first mentioned it to me said his first game on the PS2 was Dynasty Warriors 2.
Okay.
And he's who got in. He was actually one of my ex-boyfriends, and he's who got me into Dynasty Warriors, because I looked it up and found it amazing. Because the game itself is an action, real-time. Oh God, what is it called? Strategy. There we go. Real-time strategy. Sorry, it's half a strategy, half a action game, and it sounds like a weird combination. And if you were playing Game Development Tycoon, it wouldn't work, and you would fail your company.
Yeah,
But in
'cause
this case, it worked.
I'm just wondering how the hell does that even work? Like, an action game and RTS just seems like the two most bonkers thing to whack together. Really.
Yeah, I will. This is the thing. You're playing it, and in the old games, you'd actually have to move your troops and say where they'd go and such. Nowadays, you follow orders a lot more, but you have to complete certain tasks to get around certain scenarios and instances. But you're fighting off loads of soldiers as well. And I tell you now, after a hard day at work, just going into a game and just cutting off a load of heads and watching those numbers run up is the best feeling ever. It's so much better than any yoga or anything else. It's just so much easier.
And then afterwards, you can play Dynasty Warriors. What? Cutting off heads, watching the numbers roll up.
Very good, Tony, very good. But yeah, it's that's probably why I loved it the most back in the day, because it was easy just to come in after school and just kill a load of Chinese people. I would like to say now, as a disclaimer, I have great respect for the Chinese people and for their history.
But she also loves killing them.
Yeah.
I just love killing soldiers. Yeah, they're just not real people. They were many years ago.
Oh, come on. They're not like the first card for like people getting murdered in games. If they want to get uppity, come on, the Russians have a real big stamp on we get killed in video games. So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay.
Oh well, I hope so.
Yeah.
But the game usually starts around the era of the end of the Han Empire. That's what it is. The end of the Han Dynasty. This is why they call it Dynasty Warriors, because at the end of the Han Dynasty, which is in about 208 AD, the Yellow Turban Rebellion occurred, which was an uprising of the local people led by a shaman who was just a dick. Who you kill, and in this game that is the first instance where you kill your main character, kills this person, and then it leads on to follow their story, and you will be a character of either. Now what I just said was a lie actually, because usually in the games you usually just have Wei, Wu and Shu, which are the names of the three kingdoms. Wei is one kingdom, who in reality were the ruling and overreigning kingdom that spoiler.
No way. No way.
Wu is another rival kingdom that fought a lot longer, and Shu was the idealist kingdom which did not win but were beloved, and the leader Liu Bei, he was an idealist.
Okay.
And unfortunately, a very bloodthirsty time. It was called the Time of the Chaos. And I said I lied because in this new installment, they've introduced the Jin dynasty, kingdom, which didn't start at the same time, but kind of developed and evolved from the Wei kingdom, who continued to fight off Wu, Shu, and various.
I gotta give you props for keeping up with all these names. It's like what, Wu, what, where, what, how, what?
I was not expecting a bloody history lesson.
I know my favourite characters, Sun Shangxiang, who is the sister of Sun Ce and Sun Quan.
I hope everyone's taking notes. There's going to be a quiz on this later.
Who are the children of Sun Shan? Sun Shan was the tiger of Wu. He was the Jing tiger, because he was a conqueror, and his son who took over from Sun Ce was, this is my favourite kingdom by the way, was known as the Little Conqueror because he conquered so quickly, vigorously, I suppose would be a way to put it. And Sun Zhangjiang was kind of a tomboy in a time when women weren't meant to be tomboys.
Like Mulan,
and you
basically.
can tell this by Sun Ce's wife and his advisor. Oh god, I'm going to fail at this bit. Lou. Oh, no.
We honestly can't help you here, Hayley. You're on your own.
Damn clue.
Anyway, his advisor's wife, who were both sisters, who were the Chow sisters. No, they weren't. They're the Chow sisters. Sorry, they are the Chow sisters, and they were two of the most beautiful women in all the land. However, they were known as Da Chow and Sha Chow, and that's quite unusual because in Chinese culture and Japanese culture, in fact, the surname goes before the forename. So I always thought this was quite unusual until I learned what their names meant. Their names meant, I'm going off such a tangent here. Their names meant Da Chow means older Chow, and Jia Chow means little Chow or younger Chow. So they're basically known as the older sister and the younger sister. That is all that history has noted about them.
Okay.
Oh, well, they must be very distinct people then.
Well, this is why I wrote my screenplay on Xia Chao, the younger one, who was seen as very beautiful. And there was a rumor going around, and there was a bit of a myth around that the Xia Chao, who is the leader of Wei, a very ruthless man, he apparently fancied Xia Chao. This is all getting very confusing for you. I can hear it.
Nothing but stony silence, and everyone's just taking the words in and not really processing them.
Why can't their names be something like Michelle?
Okay, I'm going to start with the name of history, but basically in my story, I remember writing all their names out, and I know distinguishing each and every character, and they all had their own characteristics and personalities, and they all looked different and and all their names were very different. However, I then handed it to my very English class to read, because we all have to read out the screenplays and we all take parts. And they were all like, I have no idea who each other is. And I said to them, well, I could replace all the names with Sam, Bill, Bob, Mary, Jane and such, but then that would kind of be insulting to the culture. So I kept the names. And
So
told
basically
them
just turn yourself, you're all just basically racist.
You should have thrown it out. You
Even that,
racist.
it's just, it would be disrespectful to change the names. I mean, the game itself is pretty disrespectful enough to the culture and the originality of the culture generally. Because I should explain that the costumes and appearance of the characters in the game is pretty, classic modern day anime.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, short skirts, heels, and even the DLC for a lot of it have modern day costumes for them, like schoolgirl costumes. Like, no, I like the silly costumes because they have hints of the original. I mean, the men look amazingly beefed out. I mean, they're not realistic costumes, but they got originality with design and inspiration, and what they can do is completely cartoonish in the games, but the costume still it sings of its original inspiration, and I love the costumes. The female, yeah, they're pretty sexist, blah blah, normal internet ragey stuff, but I still love the costumes because they're fun. And I think I feel like I give them justice by actually having read half of the original story. It's a long book. It's like 1,000. No, it's way more than that. It's one of the old epics. I could not read it all in one go.
And it's got a 4 hours movie attached to it. I don't exactly.
Yeah,
That was just one portion of the conflict as well, wasn't it?
the biggest conflict. Well, the biggest war. I think there's this actual war. The game covers about 200 years. So. It's a hell of a time. So then this one battle, it's just one battle out of maybe 10, 15 that you do. One battle called the Battle of Chibei, spelt Chibi. It is one of the only battles where you get all three kingdoms fighting each other with all of the original characters, because of course they die off after a while.
Yeah, it's
they
like
get old
200 years,
and
yeah.
killed. So, and it's all my favourite characters fighting, and I was like, and it's got a sense of magic and mysticism, and it's got fire, and it's all on ships, and every time the company does the game, they always do this battle, but they do it differently each time. They tell it differently. The design, the techniques, the dynamics, the devices they use to tell this one battle is different every time. The layout of the map, whilst is similar, it is different because there are no pictures, no maps, no plots, no real life. All they have to go on is this book that is questionably fictional.
Yeah.
And this one war, this one battle that you fight has been turned into a movie. And to give it enough context, especially with the characters, because you don't have the luxury of the game and other battles and taking your time with them, this one movie ended up being 4 hours and is on 2 discs. I had the DVD. I think I've got it somewhere. And it's on 2 discs.
Jesus Christ.
And you've got to pay attention.
Yeah.
But but you get the sense of the characters so well. And I recognised every single one. I was like, yeah, I know who it is. Oh, yeah. Tom, I think you watched it with me, didn't you?
I have no idea. I'm not sure of anything right now.
You did.
I do not know of anything right now.
Yeah, but I absolutely love, to be honest, with the book, as far as I got, I only read up to probably the average second epic battle of Dynasty Warriors 8, where they take down a battle of Hulao Gate, whereby they take down the tyrant who had I can't remember his name either. What's wrong with me? Who had taken hostage the emperor, and you had banded together with others to take down this wintry massive gate and take down the generals, including the fearsome Lu Bu, who will be seen on any game, as well as oh god, I'm forgetting all the names now. But Zhang Yao? No, Zhang Xiao is another guy. Okay, never mind.
if you're getting confused, me and Tom have no chance whatsoever.
Well, okay, Lu Bu is a guy who's seriously OP, and you only fight him if you're sure you're going to win. If you have strategies and tactics and people to throw at him to kill, he will die. Meat shields. If you have meat shield strategies and you've trained up, then you can fight him, and he looks like a giant beetle because he's these great big feathers striking out from the top of his head. So
that just reminds me of was it Zap Brannigan from Futurama? It's like, how did you beat the Deathbots? I sent men after men at them until they were basically tired of killing my own men, and that's how I won.
Yes. That is how you do it. And if you kill this one other officer called Jiao Chan, she is Lu Bu's lover. So if you kill her, he comes after you.
Oh.
So you have to run fast. And often you run away from him and try and kill the leader as quickly as possible so he doesn't kill you. So, and there are other OP generals, but he's the main one who is just so... Anyway, where did I get on to?
I don't even know.
Okay, so this battle, I got to just after that battle with my... with the book. And that is just the second... Okay, the end of my story is that is just the second chapter in the game. And that's as far as I got in the book. And the book is a lot longer than that, so... And it goes into details as in such and such was the son of such and such, who was the nephew of such and such. Like the classic Greek old stories where they give you the family tree because people want to know if they're related to them somehow. Because that's what people did in those days.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years ago.
Son of, and I am the
TV.
bloodline of this, and yeah.
Yeah. That's what they did a lot in Greek plays, actually, as well. And I that's what I actually, going on another tangent, what I feel Tolkien did with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Brought an element of that into it.
Yeah, like long lost bloodline kings, you know. Or you're the last descendant of such and such. Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
And I don't know what my point with this anymore is.
Yeah.
I love story, and I love the stress release factor of it, and just how you can go at things and just keep attacking, and reliving the story and creating your own story in a lot of the games, because it's not just story driven. Whilst you get to experience new story elements with each new Dynasty Warriors installment, especially new ones which I've never encountered before. So as a long-time player, I'm still encountering new story elements too. I still know how it ends, but it's nice to see how experience the different tribulations, trials and tribulations that these characters had to overcome.
Yeah.
And that's not the only part, because you also always have an independent part where in this, oh god, I can't remember what it's called in this one. Like, I haven't played it loads, but for some reason, modes. Here we go, modes. Right, story mode, ambition. You've got free mode where you can just fight through all the battles, and ambition mode is where you've got to earn enough money to build up your camp, to be a village, to be and construct the great, was it Tonke Tai Palace for the Emperor, for him to come and hide away. And you've got to go to battles, earn money, fight officers, have them join your cause, earn more money, build up your thing, build up your weapons, see the blacksmith, buy animals, build up your place, earn more money, battles, credits, and you're building it up. So that's why they call it ambition mode, so that you eventually can invite the Emperor to come and stay with you.
Oh, so it's basically like a massive progression on the gameplay, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, which is a bit different. I mean, they used to do one where you would create your own. I think that was Dynasty Warriors 4. Oh, someone's going to tell me I'm so wrong. But where you basically were able to create your own officer, and you made your own story by building your way up through the ranks, and you were able to betray your clan at certain stages and such.
Oh, pretty cool. Like you're having like a career.
You can do whatever you want. It's a pretty free running game. As story driven as it is, you've got pretty free reign over a lot of stuff.
To murder lots and lots.
And you get new stuff every installment. And that's why it's better than FIFA. Oh.
Oh, go back to FIFA, right? You were saying there's a lot of new stuff in this game. Man, I can't see anything that's new in FIFA 14 and there was in FIFA 12. I don't want to go back to there. It hurts too much. But
people of internet, you see, Dynasty Warriors wins. and can I just say, Jim Sterling actually agrees with me as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He's Jim fucking Sterling.
He loves Dynasty Warriors too. Well, he loves Dynasty Warriors as well.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's the end of my massive unstructured rant.
I guarantee that a very small amount of the history lesson we got there probably won't stick with me, but
I've completely forgotten the last.
Well,
what about? Oh, come on, Tom. What about Zhang Zhao? Come on, you must have listened about that.
Zhang Zhao.
Oh, fuck that. Okay, fair enough. I trust you. I trust you no matter.
Had 10 years of confusion.
Do you know what? My neighbour, he actually studied Chinese history in China. He used to live in Shanghai, and I don't think he's completely all up to knowledge with this stuff either. So it's, to be honest though, China's got such a massive history that you can't expect everyone to know everything.
It's fucking huge. Of course it does.
And well, their culture's lasted for so long as well.
I know.
So expansive.
Well, like,
okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Well, the story of that, like as you say, is like, is expansive and stuff like that. I won't be able to keep track of it. No matter how many gods will be watching this review, I can't seem to track that. Talking of gods watching things.
No?
Am
I starting now?
No, you didn't catch that one. Okay.
I did catch that one. That was not the best transition. I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
You can do better.
Oh,
Tony,
well, sorry, I didn't realise that I've got some sort of reputation.
I'll give you one more chance. Go for it.
Well, I can't do one off it has to be natural, Tom. You know this. Come on. I can't do
Okay.
it while you, Haley, and the gods are watching me. So do it.
Okay, that's better.
I pulled out of my ass. There you go.
Right.
Right. So
God,
what the hell is this game anyway?
what the hell is this game?
Yeah.
Gods Will Be Watching is... This is a direct quote here. This is a direct read of Metacritic here. Gods Will Be Watching is a minimalistic point-and-click thriller centered on despair, commitment, and sacrifice, as players face narrative puzzles and moral dilemmas that will affect both the lives of your team and the people you are sworn to protect. Set against the backdrop of an intergalactic struggle, Gods Will Be Watching follows Sergeant Burden. See what you did there, game. And his crew of 6...
Sorry, that is pretty cool.
Burden. Subtle. It's oh so subtle. So yeah, you follow him and his crew through 6 tense chapters, from hostage situations to wilderness survival to biological weapons prevention, agonizing torture scenarios. Each decision you make in each chapter is crucial, and the players will need to choose between the lives of their team and the saving the world from genocide. There is no good or evil. There are just decisions, with only you and the gods as a judge to your actions.
Why does this sound like it's going to be a game like what do you call it? What's the name? That shooter on the Xbox, like basically points the finger at you and basically calls you a twat for killing people. What is it called? Spec Ops: The Line. Spec Ops: The Line. I feel like it's going to be one of those games that there is no right or wrong answer, but everything is a wrong answer. Everything is bad. It doesn't matter what you do.
Kinda. You don't win. You only succeed.
Yeah. It sounds like Spec Ops to me. It sounds like a mindfuck.
It's horrific as well, because I remember the first chapter, easy enough. I'm just sitting there with this group of terrorists, minus spoilers, which you've been tasked to join as a double agent. And you're just sitting there, 4 people on the floor, and screaming around each other like, right, we got to hack this to steal this virus. Why? We're just doing it. Okay, fine, I'm running with it. So you got to... I saw a review on Steam that someone described it as a crisis management simulator, and that's the only way you can really describe it. You basically got to keep your 4 hostages quiet. They can't be overexcited. They can't be relaxed, or else they may try to escape, or they try and take the gun from you. You got to stop the SWAT team from storming down your door. You got to hack the central computer at the same time. So you've got so much going on at the same time. It's juggling with chainsaws and angry cats. It's the only way I can describe it.
Playing with the pendulum of pain.
Chapter, this is the only other chapter I'm going to go into. Well, there might be one more, because there was a demo before this which focused on where you spent 30 days trapped on a planetoid, where you had to keep you and 4 other people alive. And it was not easy. You only 5 turns during the day. You had to keep your foot. You had to make sure you had food. You had to make sure everyone was sane. You had to keep your fire up. You had to keep the wild creatures at bay. And you had to repair the radio within the months to make sure you were rescued, or else you would die alone, away from civilization.
Wow, that's quite harrowing.
Yeah, that was just the 4th chapter. The second one is you are there with your good buddy Jack being tortured.
What the fuck is this game? It sounds just like a recipe for depression.
If you want to talk about a recipe for depression, there's a game that I'm eyeing up, and I might actually buy just so I can review it next week now. It's called This War of Mine, but I'll let you know next week if I do it or not.
Yeah.
First time round though, because the torture scene starts off easy enough. You're just getting punched. Then they start breaking out the hammers, taking it to your knees. The next thing you know, he's pulled out a pair of pliers and he's ripping out your fucking teeth.
What the hell? This game sounds bonkers.
That's not the worst part. That's not the worst part. Then he brings out the blowtorches. The guy talking to me, he's just heating up this crowbar, hovering in my face, saying, "You sure you want to do this, man? And just tell me your name, where you're from, and what you're doing." But if you confess 3 times, it's over. You're dead. You've got to lie to this guy. You've got to juggle your health at the same time. And then, after this, I'm sat in the chair by myself. My mate is upside down, hanging from these chains, a guy with a crank, and it's just like, yeah, so tell me about you. Blow it out your ass. He punches me in the face, and it's like, okay, fine. I lied unsuccessfully. We're both being tortured now. He's there on the wall, You see his legs pulled up. You see his chest being stretched. I try to lie one more time. It fucks up. He's torn in half.
Oh.
Ooh, that's not good on you.
I was just sitting there like, Jack? Jack!
My man! You're dead, man!
The worst part is that after the end of every torture day, you're there with your friends talking just like so. What you and just it's just wonderful banter between them as well, because the guy you're working with for the terrorist organization, he smuggles in, but he can't get you out, not yet. He's got to bring in information, pain medication, even health kits. And one time he just drops to his knee and says, "Will you marry me?" And I said, "Just shut up and kiss me, you fool." But yeah, after that, he was torn in half. His ghost was just standing against the wall, leaning it, talking with me, and just like, "Well, this sucks, doesn't it, buddy?" It's like, "Yeah, you say that again. So, what do you think you're going to do when we get out?" I'm just.
So you're going to walk through too?
We're going to take you everywhere with me now. You're dead, man. Why are you dead?
As much as you try and stitch them together, it's not going to work. He's gone. So wait, what is the whole thing in this game? It's just like loads of really just bonkers situations, and you've got to try and manage it the best you can. Is that essentially what it is?
I could just outline all the chapters for you. First one, hostage situation. Torture is your second chapter. The third one, you're trapped in a caved-in lab with a virus, and you've got to replicate an antidote to said virus within 27 hours and dig yourself out this cave.
So
Fourth chapter, planetoid, all alone, unloved, and possibly forgotten.
if the gods
Fifth
are
chapter-
watching, they are cruel fuckers, obviously.
Well, reminds me of the Game of Thrones thing there. The gods aren't merciful. If they were merciful, they wouldn't be gods. They're just observant pricks who won't do anything.
Yeah.
That's more or less it. Fifth chapter, you're in the desert with a platoon of men, and you've got to get to your base, which is like so many miles away, and you've got to get there within 200 hours, which is easier said than fucking done. You got to maintain their thirst. You got to make sure you don't run into enemy patrols. And then after that, you're going to the terrorist lab to stop the virus. But there's like 4 passwords, and you got to convince 6 people to give you the passwords, and you got to do it in a certain amount of time, or 4 billion people will die.
This game seems so intense.
It is so intense because I've failed these games so many times. It's difficult. It is so difficult. And some people hate that. I've actually seen a few. The game itself is mixed to average reviews with some leaning more towards positive. Some people really love it, and other people just can't stand it because it's too difficult and too depressing.
Well, yeah, it sounds like some weaker-minded people be like, I just can't deal with this shit, man. Uninstall, Alt F4.
I didn't get very far.
Well, yeah, but admittedly the game crashed on you, Hayley.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It crashed on me, and it crashed my entire computer. It was like I had this sad face come up on the screen and saying, "Oh, something went wrong. We have to restart your computer." I'm like, "What? Why? Only press next."
No,
it kind of reminds me,
wasn't it?
Huh?
That was before you got to the. Oh yeah, I remember one other thing as well. This was a really tense bit, and this is not technically a spoiler, because if you go onto the Steam page, you actually see this. You see your friend there. He's got his arm being held out, and a guy standing over him with a fucking fire axe.
Okay.
And he's just like, so, I'm not gonna ask. I'm not pissing about this time. Tell me where you're from. And if you fuck up twice, his arm's gone.
Okay.
It is tough. It's tough as nails. And there's loads of achievements on here to make sure that you can get through it without, say, on the torture level, don't confess, lie every time, don't get beaten, make sure you both go home and make sure everyone's intact.
Which sounds
that's easier said than
that's
easier said than done.
Oh man. So obviously it's got multiple different endings to each of the chapters, and so you can make mistakes, but it's not like game over. Then you just have to live with the stuff that you've done.
You can walk out with say on one level you've got 5 people with you. You can walk out with just one other person with you, and
Yeah.
that's it. Other times you could go through with everyone.
Mental.
It really is. This is a hard game. It's easy. It's so easy to fuck it up.
It sounds brutal. It sounds bad.
It's so brutal.
How long
so
is?
easy to crash your laptop.
How long is it, you ask?
Yeah, how long is the
Depends
game?
what mode you're doing. I mean, I did it on original light, and even that took me like the better part of a week to complete. And it's not terrible. It's like seven chapters. Each chapter, if you go through without any mistakes whatsoever, can range between, say, 20 minutes to an hour.
Oh wow.
But you will keep playing it because I'm a perfectionist, and I want to get through as perfectly as possible, and I will just keep going and going and going.
And like in some perverted way, you're just like, okay, how badly can I fuck it up without failing? You know, how many people can I get killed?
No, I'm not like that. As soon as
everyone.
someone went mad and wandered off into the waste, I'm just like, Sarah! Or, oh god, what was the doctor's name? That fucking doctor who kept pussing out on me. Ugh.
You didn't have the balls,
Oh,
man.
would you say it's a real-time strategy game?
No, because...
It's a strategy based, though, isn't it?
You do have moments where you can just think what you want to do. Because you're just sitting there, guards at the door, one hostage rocking backwards and forwards, another one lying there saying, I can take this guy. And the other one where security's dropped down to 37%. So you've got to decide carefully what is your next action. And it could get so tense.
It's nearly turn-based, though, isn't it?
It is. I would say it practically is turn-based, yes.
Or for like even every small move that you make, there's some sort of action and consequence for doing that. Like I'm playing Broken Sword at the moment, and that's a point-and-click adventure game. But there's not really many ways you can fuck that up. Really, it's just keep clicking.
Play a man's game like
Must
me.
be nice.
Yeah.
Does anyone lose an arm in Broken Swords? Does anyone get torn in half?
No, but I show people snotty tissues.
Oh god, the terror.
Yeah. They seem pretty scared about it as well. So.
Oh no, not the bogies.
Bogies in your face! Haha! Take that! And now it's a Peggy 18, but let's not go there. No, it's not. It's not.
But, yeah, okay.
But again, I imagine this game is people getting torn in half, people's arms getting ripped off. I imagine this has got a mature rating slapped all over it. I imagine.
Let me see. I don't actually think it's it's a really retro pixelated design. You know, something like you would expect on the old Microsoft DOSes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Remember
which
those
makes
you
it
plug in a
even
floppy disk?
harder.
You didn't click and point to what you wanted to play. You actually had to type it in, initiate game mode initiated, run game.
Yeah.
Incorrect title. Correct. Say it properly.
Yeah, you have to type the exact directory on where it is and then launch it. Yeah, I remember those days. Damn it, I still remember
Uh,
booting up
That
MS-DOS.
makes the game even harder to read when you've got to read how the characters are feeling until you get to know how what each movement or change in posture means. It's very difficult to read it.
I wouldn't say it was terribly difficult because it is a beautiful story. I was so invested. I think the only major thing I've got with it feels too short. I wanted so much more.
Yeah,
I
I
could play 100 chapters of this game. I'm no word of a lie. And I want more. That's all I want from it.
Do you think they will make another one?
I hope so, and I hope they make more. I wouldn't even object to DLC. Just adding a few extra chapters here, there, and in between. At the beginning, at the end, even in between. Just, I want more.
You like seeing people getting ripped apart. That's what you.
It's
like.
not so much that. It's just this game is like your abusive ex that you keep going back to.
So basically, like XCOM for me and Don't Starve for Haley. Essentially,
Essentially, yes. You just you come to your friends and you're holding a black eye and crying and it's just like, I don't know why he treats me like this.
But I
Why
love
didn't you
him
just
so
leave
much.
Tom? He's bad for you. You don't understand. I can't go. My CDs are alphabetized in his car. You give stupid reasons why you've got to go back, and it's just like, no, I need to find out. I need to see this through to the end.
I've installed both campaigns on my computer. Once you've made a statement like that, you just can't go back on it. You have to leave it on there. Keep going back. That's what I say. Anyway. Ah, good stuff. Is there anything else you want to cover with Gods Will Be Watching? Apart from it seems like a brutal...
It is depressing, but
Yeah.
I think it really... Oh, there was some... This actually links to This Is War. This War of Mine, which is... The only way to describe it is it's you're situated in a war with civilians. Imagine living in Stalingrad. That's the only way I can describe it. I've seen a few a few player reviews, but they're not reviews. They're basically confessions.
Okay.
I just remember reading one. He was just basically describing a situation where he walked into a house. Bandits were screaming, going everywhere. Someone had a gun. He knifed him. He got the gun and he killed everyone. Then he realised that the house, this was one of the lockers he was going to go into was marked private. And he realised that this wasn't an empty house. This was someone's home. He just killed everyone in this house. He killed survivors, not bandits. And he stopped playing the game, looked at the mirror, and it just ended. The review ended with "What have I done? What have I become?"
Not another Spec Ops The Line.
Not even those ironic. Oh, what? Truly, we are the monsters. Kind of parody. You know, he was deadly serious. It's just like, I feel so shit for this.
I can't hack another game that's like Spec Ops. That game made me feel so bad about myself.
One day, if it ever goes on sale, I'm going to buy you this War of Mine, and I want you to play through it and just see how awful it gets.
My kids are going to like try and cuddle me and be like, "I'm tainted. You haven't seen the things I've seen. Don't cuddle me."
You weren't there, man. You weren't there.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
It's a good game when you can actually seriously set it and just. You can't even talk about the game because people just don't understand what it's like.
I try and explain that about Spec Ops The Line, and it's like, oh, it's just another military shooter, and I'm like, I feel like grabbing them by like the collars and like getting my face. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's just not.
I can't even talk about Spec Ops The Line. I just remember seeing that. Oh, I remember seeing that woman and child, and I was just like, oh,
oh damn,
oh,
shit just got real there, man.
You just walk through to the end and you just feel emotionally numb, don't you?
I just feel like, I'll tell you what I felt like when playing the end of Spec Ops. I was like, okay, it's over. Put my controller down, stand up, go to the fridge, open up milk, and just drink it. I was like, why do I feel like just drinking milk? I was like,
milk, it's white. It will cleanse my sin. Wash the sin away in white.
I felt like having a shower with milk. It was really weird. I don't know. That game made me feel things. Oh dear. Is there anything about Gods we'll be watching that you want to talk about before we wrap up now?
I can understand if people would not enjoy this game. It does appeal to the niche market of just basically getting beaten with your point and clicks and crisis managements. But I love it. I would give it a strong paw of approval.
Paw of approval. Actually, Haley, of course, we don't really have to ask this, but would you give your paw of approval for Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, definitely.
I believe that's what about saying, didn't it?
Yeah, but just for the record, I have to say, you know. So
you have to ask, just
technicality. That's it. So 2 paw of approvals. Gods will be watching. I might look up some videos on that. Possibly, you know, not when my children are around.
There is actually a demo. Just look up the demo and have a go at that.
Yeah, not when my children are awake, though. I think.
Tony, if you do. Please record it. I want to see I want to see you go through this.
I'll face cam it for you as well.
Please do.
Well, we haven't actually been podcasting too long. I might add in just a little bit at the end here. Might cover a quick game. The game
a song. Yeah, you should sing, Tony.
No, that will be after the review.
Oh, believe me. You see, I sing in the car. My children tell me to stop. So, you know. I'm pretty down bad.
Do you sing? Do you wanna build a snowman?
No.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I just love the Harley Quinn version. Do you want to rob a? What was it? Do you want to kill the Batman? I love that one.
Do you want to kill the Batman?
Or rob a jewelry store? Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's actually a song. Have you guys not heard it?
Not the Harley Quinn version. I've heard Do You Want to Hear a Body and Do You Want to Kill a Planet?
No, it's the Harley Quinn one's brilliant, and it's like really well done. It's the entire song just done from the perspective of Harley Quinn. Even with Joker going, "Go away, Harley," in a bit of it, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to talk about, just very quickly, right, because I didn't want this to be a full review, but I did want to bring it up. You guys know I've been playing a hell of a lot NBA recently, right? And I'm a big fan of games. No, listen to me, Tom. You're going to be interested in this. Trust me, right? I'm going to slam FIFA pretty bad here. Right?
Oh,
go on.
I'm playing
FIFA.
So I'm playing FIFA 14 and I'm playing NBA 2K12. So there's a 2-year gap between them, right? When I see, I mean, just in terms of gameplay, NBA as a basketball game is pristine in terms of gameplay. It's phenomenal. It's like all the small little animations, the character creation. It's just packed full of extras and everything like that. Which someone playing FIFA for the first time, seeing, oh, you can create your own character and you have a career, you can make Ultimate Team. They'll be like, oh, there's all this stuff to do, right? So that's fine. I'm not going to talk about the gameplay because you guys don't really care. I'm not going to talk about the management because you guys don't really care. I'm going to talk about the My Career mode because that is the closest thing to what either game has to a story. And I'm gonna explain the differences between the two because I've seen FIFA 15 and I've seen NBA 2K15. Right? In NBA 2K15, you have a fully fledged story. You can have conferences after every single match that you have, and you have multiple things that you can say, and it will affect how your fans cheer for you during the matches. You can talk to your GM, you can demand more money and stuff like that, you can ask for trades, and all of these come with cutscenes, voice acted by the players as well. When the top NBA players are involved in the cutscenes, it's actually them voicing it, right?
Damn.
What's the other stuff? There's cutscenes of your character. There's like a kind of like the big story of it is that you're trying to, make it big as an NBA star. It's still kind of generic, but it's got a lot of it in it. And like you've got a back and forth between you and your agent. Your agent's not pulling its weight. Do you cut your agent? Do you maybe go different avenues? Who do you talk to? There's a lot of cutscenes involved. It's basically like a story added on to a career mode for your player, and like all the choices happen and have like roll-on effects. That is in NBA 2K, like that was even in NBA 2K14 and 15. So playing NBA recently, I'm just like, wow, this game has all this stuff. I'm playing 2K12, it doesn't have as much as stuff, but I was so surprised when I did something in a game, like I beat a record or something like that, right? Just playing the game, playing a few matches, I got a record. It came up, the game generated its own advert, and it's like a 30-second advert, including my character. And basically you got like an endorsement and you got like an advert with my character in it. Which is like amazing, right? That's awesome. Like
that does sound awesome.
Yeah. And like what is it? When you get your you get like a shoe deal from like, from Jordan, right? And it's not just you now unlocked the Jordan pack, and you can go and equip all them. You make your own shoe. There's actually like a whole mini game where you make a shoe and your guy debuts
fantastic.
It. Yeah. It's like all this extra stuff. It's like I actually feel like I'm in the game. Now here we go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and so all that I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like there's all this stuff to do outside of the things that really make a difference. And like I said, you got conferences after each of the matches and stuff. In the new one, you get interviewed in like half time. You might have like a reporter that runs up to you, asks you a question, and you have to answer on the fly just before you go back out into the court. It's amazing. It's mad, right? FIFA. I've played FIFA for years. It has none of that stuff. It is, I'm playing FIFA 14 now and I'm playing the career. It is, you play a match, 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 you play a match. You guys are getting the gist of this. You play a match, you play a match,
Yeah.
What
you
do
play
you do?
a match.
Do you play a match?
Yeah, right? Just over and over and over again. Occasionally you might get what FIFA tries to be in terms of making it more immersive, where you might get a mail where your manager says, you're going really well, fantastic, woo, awesome. Then you play a match, you play a match, you play a match, you play a match. You see how this is going, right? Like, you look at all the stuff that NBA has. Like, advertisements.
Not much for escapism, eh?
Yeah, it's like, you're playing a My Career, but there's no much difference between you doing that and you playing a manager career and just adding your own character, creating your own player and putting them in your manager career. At least then you can change the lineup so you can bring your own players in and out. But on a My Career mode, you're playing as your own guy, and there's just no immersion. Like for instance, like I could expect them doing that when they first brought in the mode, but that was in 2012, and now they're in 2014. No, sorry, that was in 2011 they first brought that out, and now they're in 2014. They've made no strides at all towards making it any. When you look at what NBA's done, which they've got a fully fledged story mode, like in a sports game, where you have your own advertisements, like you get your own shoes, you get your own players. Like imagine in FIFA, like you play a match, maybe you're going against Wayne Rooney, right? I don't like the guy, but fair enough. You're going against Wayne Rooney, he's one of the top players in England, and at half-time, maybe you're all over him, you manage to cover him. So at half-time, which in NBA this happens, the player comes up to you and says, well, you better look out next half because I'm going to decimate you now. Like, you've ruined this half for me. I'm going to score 5 goals past you or anything like this. You'd be like, okay, you bring it then. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show everyone you're a chump. And, like, you can do that in NBA. That actually happens. In FIFA, there's just nothing. It's just so soulless. And like I stick by my sports games. I love sports games, but like it's like I've only just recently started playing NBA, and it's like, what have I been missing out on all this time? Like, what FIFA could have done by now? They could have a fully fledged story mode around your my character, and like, which is what you have in the NBA one, and they've done loads of assets for it. You've got your own house in NBA that you can, talk to people on and do stuff like that. It's just like, when you stack it up, there's nothing there. I just don't understand. Like, it must be a difference because 2K do NBA, right? And you got EA who do FIFA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like EA are just like, okay, we get money doing Ultimate Team, so we don't have to do anything different. We'll just fuck up the gameplay. We'll just mess up some stuff and make it less fun. Which for FIFA 14 it's done. And 2K are like, they got a different mindset. It's like, okay, we had a fully fledged story mode last year. We had all these new voiceovers, journalists, backstage segments, all this extra stuff. How else can we make this better? Okay, you know what? We'll do social media. We'll do. You can play in the park with loads of other people. You can do charity events and stuff like that. It's like they're adding more and more stuff in. Where FIFA are like, fuck it, we'll just do it again. There you go.
Yeah, but that's the biggest thing with FIFA. That's what people always say about FIFA.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's just.
I was when I play FIFA because I didn't know. Like, I just naturally thought this is just the way every sports game does this, right? Every sports game, it's all the same. Doesn't matter what sport you play. And I go and play NBA, and it's nothing like it. It's like there's so much more there. I've had 2 adverts currently in my NBA career that's been made, and one of them was like so awesome. It's like loads of slow-mo shots of my character, and at the last bit it's like it comes up like where amazing happens, where skills happens, and at the end it's just got my guy, and he's like he turns around from the screen, it's like where, and because obviously you've got your character's name on the back of your jersey, so it's like where Sayers happens. I'm like, yeah, that is awesome, right? That's amazing. And yeah, FIFA's just like play a match, 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 play a match. It's like, okay, I get it. Play a match. Fair enough. There's my little rant anyway, and I'm sure Chris will enjoy that. I just want to make it sure that not all sports games need to be blasted the way FIFA is, because in my opinion anyway, NBA needs to be held in like a high regard, because that game fucking rocks. Just saying now. I love NBA. I really do. And I got skills, by the way. Just letting you know. I got game. Yeah.
Skills to pay the bills.
Skills to pay the bills. Man, we playing basketball up in here, okay?
Which NBA is this? Because I might have a look into it.
Right, so I'm playing NBA 2K12. It's quite an old one, but it doesn't have a lot of the other features that I'm stating on. But like I said, you do get adverts and stuff like that made, and endorsements and everything, and like you get billboards made. But NBA 2K15 is the one that's newly been released, and literally, like if you go for My Career, there's just tons upon tons upon tons of cutscenes. Like you get like cutscenes with the coach at halftime. All your characters go into the changing rooms, and he will like literally go, okay, you did really well on this, but you need to work on this next time. It's like there's none of that in FIFA, none of it at all. And I would highly recommend, like, even if you're slightly remotely involved, like sports, I would look for a YouTube let's play of the My Career, because it's just so good. It's like there's actually like a cinematic story that goes around it. It's amazing. I really can't. Are you guys going to get NBA?
I'll look into it, because the my beef I've got with sports games is you use games for escapism. Why would you want to keep playing FIFA when you can just go outside and play football? Yeah, you've got the feeling of the stadium, but that's what your imagination's for. But if you're talking about with NBA, where you actually see your character rise up, get his own product placements, see him talk to the coach, see him give his own interviews, that intrigues me.
Yeah. That's in the new one that's come out. The one I'm playing now, it's still got a lot. I mean, like I said, that was 3 years ago that the one I'm playing now was released, and like every now and then, like I'm at the moment now. I'm playing a lot of games. I really love the gameplay of it. But like every now and then you'll just get like a mail. Oh, well, we've got a new endorsement. Here's a new billboard because you're a player of the month, and it's like your guy doing a certain pose with a basketball and stuff. And like after every single game on the one that I'm playing, which like I said is 3 years ago, you have a conference and they will ask you questions, and you have to pick which answer, and depending which answer that you pick will show how much the crowd are going to be into you. Like I've been answering my questions really well, so I've got I've got a local fan support of 97. So whenever I walk out there, they're shaking their scarves, they're going mental, they're like yes, and all this that I come out and I'm their main player and everything. It's amazing, it's so cool.
Kind of makes me think of when you play Tropico, when you give a speech out to the public, they let you know what they think of what you say.
Yeah.
Hayley.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you got
Sorry,
to
my
that.
mum had come in just a second ago.
No problem.
It is. What was your question, Tom? Tom?
Did you get the bit when Tony was talking about when you're in conference, you give answers to questions and people react to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like Tropico when you give a speech as El Presidente, isn't it?
Except you don't really get that in the most recent Tropico. Nope.
Oh.
No.
That was in the last no.
Oh.
Shouldn't
That
have
was
asked
the
me
one you
now,
reviewed
should you?
anyway.
No, I'd say like what I would state to anyone that like just honestly like go and look at there's tons of people that do it. Go look at a YouTube. Look at the first few episodes of someone doing their My Career on NBA 2K15, and then the first few episodes of someone doing it on FIFA 15. There's just no comparison. Like you'll watch 3 games in 3 episodes of a FIFA Let's Play. The first 3 episodes of like an NBA Let's Play, you're probably going to watch a lot of cutscenes about this guy struggling to get into basketball, working really hard and getting pissed off at his agent because his agent's not working hard enough and stuff like this. It's so much better. But there we go. There's my 2 cents. NBA rules, play basketball. FIFA needs to step up their game because they've been lax.
We're bored of their nonsense.
Bored of their bullshit. That's what I would state. And FIFA 14 is broken. I will review it one day and slate it because it's broken.
Another angry podcast, I think.
Another angry podcast. That's it.
Do you think they should stop making one every year and work on making a good one every 2 years or every year and a half?
Well, you know what? NBA seems to do a good job releasing it each year and giving a new story each year. But I think the thing is with this, right? It's the same thing with Call of Duty. They're going to keep releasing the same stuff because people buy it, and people will buy it. Like they've done a lot of work into the Ultimate Team because they can buy packs, right, for players. And I've seen streams of people paying upwards of £300 on packs. And it's just like, really, like. Do you not want to spend those £300 on maybe, I don't know, a next-gen console? You know what I mean? Like, really? I'm just like, you're spending that much money on this just to get cards for a game, which you could play the said characters in a career mode anyway. It's not that much different. You know what I mean? Now you've just got virtual money. Well done. That's all they can think about it. But they put loads of thought and time into that part of the game because that's what gets them all the microtransaction money. So they don't really give any shit about the other parts of the game. Whereas 2K do. They obviously tender loving care. To get at least one NBA player from all the teams to do voice acting in their game, that's going the extra mile. Like
it's like getting them to actually bother as well.
Yeah, I mean, like the voice acting isn't great, but like, nor would you expect it to be. They're professional athletes, not voiceover
Not
actors.
professional voice actors.
Yeah, but it's still their voices. It's still them, and it adds to the authenticity. When your guy gets annoyed because maybe this guy you're talking to didn't pass to you, you can say that. You can say, "You fucked up my game. You didn't give me the rock. I couldn't score any points. This is all on you." Or you could say, "Well, next time, you know what, mate? It's fine. We'll try better next time." And like they will respond. They've got loads of dialogue, and it's like
that's brilliant.
Yeah. But in FIFA, there's nothing.
Well, I don't think you can actually get Wayne Rooney to understand the concept of voice acting anyway.
This
It was
magic
just grass
system.
acting, and even then he was. Let me see. He was like a cutout, a faded cardboard cutout of Christian Stewart. Put it that way.
Yeah, no,
That's how well he acted.
yeah. I think one of the big issues as well with that is that because FIFA goes over so many continents, this is defending them only a little bit because it's still not a thing. But like, America is the National Basketball Association. Everyone in that league speaks American. They have to because they live there. They speak English. Sorry, but like in FIFA, because there's so many different, like. My
of
team,
course,
Man
some
City, there's a lot of
nations.
players there that don't speak English, even though they've been living there for 3 years. So it would be quite hard to get them to go and do voice acting. But it's still not good enough. You could still get, if I were FIFA, fair enough, you can't get all the players. Sometimes there's a language barrier. Well, then what you do, because all the managers in the league can speak English, you make that you pay them money to get them to do some voice acting. So if you have a bad game, you get called into the office and they can slate you. You know what I mean? Or you do a game-winning shot and they come in and they say, "Man, you're the man. You saved that game for us. Well done." But there's just nothing. There's just nothing at all. I'm like, and you look at
It's
this
match after match after match.
match after match after match. That's all it is. And when you play FIFA for years and the gameplay in FIFA 14 is worse than FIFA 12, and I'm like, oh, no. I put it in now only because the matches are quick. I can get one over in about 10 minutes, and then I can turn it off. It's basically a time waster, not a game I want to play, which is really bad. I would much rather
Just to sink your time.
Like, if I've got an hour to spend, I would much rather spend it on 2 lengthy NBA matches than playing like 10, 12, 15, fucking football matches, because I want to know what my next endorsement's going to be. I want to know which billboard is going to have me next on it. I want to know what advertisement is going to come up next when my character's part of it.
It's all about the turbo toning.
It's all about it. I've got skills, man. I've got game. That's what I have to say about it. Is there anything else that you guys would like to wrap up in before we wrap up the podcast this week?
No, I think I've said everything I want to say.
Yeah.
I did actually buy this War of Mine, so I'm actually going to review that next week.
Oh,
I want to
wow.
talk about depressing things.
Wow, Tom, you're getting all melancholy on us the last couple of weeks.
Depression, it's happiness, but for deep people.
Yeah. And if anyone can, can I get? Oh no, I'm not even going to try and use the names that Haley said no because. Wait! There was one of them called Wei and Wei and Wu, right?
And
Wei, Shu, and Wu are the 3 kingdoms.
Oh, yeah, I've got that. There you go.
Not actually, they're like the clan, so to speak.
Well, that's good enough, surely. I've got to get points for that.
Well done, yeah. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Alright guys, awesome little podcast for you there. We reviewed Dynasty Warriors 8, Gods Will Be Watching, and a little rant there about why NBA rules and FIFA sucks, essentially, in the end. From a guy who has played now both franchises to death. And next week is the special episode we recorded a while back. That's getting released next week.
Alright.
Oh.
You guys know what our hidden weapon is. Bring a pen and paper, that's all we'll say. And play along with it. There you go, that's the only
Ready to pause and stop, but no cheating, no skipping to the end for the answers.
Yeah.
And no Googling.
No Googling. You're not allowed to do
No
that.
Googling.
Play the game properly or not at all.
And let us know your scores once you get there. But that's next week.
What was it? Game rules.
Yeah. Let's go.
Game
go.
rules. I remember.
So
Those references that they're not going to get just yet.
they will get it. They'll get it.
We'll get it.
So thank you guys for watching listening to the episode. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to watch any more. You can also subscribe to our fellow kitten who didn't make it this week, Chris's channel. He also uploads podcast episodes, so if you want to catch all of them, you'll have to follow both our channels. That's the way this thing works. And as we said, next week will be a little bit of a special episode for you. But for now, guys, that's it. And we hope we'll catch you again next week.
Okay.
Say
Bye,
goodbye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.